Hi, I'm Larry Coryell, and I rock jazz. Well, you got to get a good teacher. Hope that you have enough good fortune to avail yourself of a good teacher who can really lay it on you the right way, because there can be a lot of jive, in my opinion, a lot of extraneous information that you may not need. The main thing is a teacher that will inspire you simply by example. And, just to get that, learn develop the capacity to play in a jazz way. So this is like short chords, short notes, nothing to do with folk music or classical music, but you should also understand folk music. You should learn some classical music. Just to get the feel for the way that was Ravel, the way that stuff, and it's technically challenging. Look at that stretch. It just gives you perspective, helps you with your technique. But the jazz feeling is the most important. If not feeling it right, you're just wasting, in my opinion, you're just wasting your time. Jazz is, in my view, it's an African-American experience. You don't have to be an African-American to play it, but you have to understand it, the way it was conceived, and the way that certain important musicians, they make all kinds of stuff that, like people in general society would think are mistakes. Like the first time I heard Miles Davis, I thought he was just making a lot of mistakes. And then when I listened a little bit closer, it started to make sense. It started to make really nice, Miles, Freddie Hubbard, Thelonious, man. Dissonance. Thelonious, he was the greatest, man. He jabbed at the piano. He didn't do this. It's important to develop your own voice. You have to decide what you want to do. At the beginning of your career, say when you hit 18 or you're 19, you're committed. Okay, what do I want to do? And once you decide, if you want to be a serious player, play all the right notes, then you have to behave accordingly. Well, you do have to work. You have to work on your art. You have to work on your music. And if you are given talent, if you inherit talent, you have a responsibility to develop it. So I need to practice all the time. Well, it really translates to, when I'm not on the road, make sure I play at least once a day, just to keep everything. Because when I'm home, not on the road, I'm usually composing. I've been doing a lot of composing. What motivates me, depending on what I'm doing, what motivates me now is if I have an idea that I want to promulgate upon the public, an idea that I feel needs to be made prevalent, then I compose with the intention of making sure that people understand, like, this is the background to my arrangement of Amazing Grace, which I wrote in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King. And then I wrote several pieces about Dr. King. When his church was burned, I wrote a song about that. Tried to create a composition that was bluesy and also reflected the enormous emotional impact that the burning of his church. You know, because it goes. It's a little Ellington. Up to another key, but it makes a little variation. It's not a mirror image of the first section, and I called that project Montgomery, about the Montgomery bus boycott. And what I wanted to do was communicate the importance of Dr. King's behavior during that time, which was he became different. He changed as a human being. He did what we call in Buddhism as human revolution. And a human revolution in just a single individual can change history, and that's what happened. And I want people to be aware that they can also generate their own human revolution. It's about changing.